Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So today, you can probably see him behind me. It is the one and only Sprinter. Sorry, I said that a bit quick then. It is the one and only Sprinter who is behind me. Now you know who Sprinter is, probably, if you've watched my Meet My Horses video. And he isn't actually my horse, he's sort of like a client's horse basically, because like I train horses and stuff. Stuff like that, and yeah, and I can help out with almost like troubled horses, basically, troubled horses. So yeah, and Sprinter, maybe I'll tell you a bit more about him later, or unless you've already heard about everything. Anyway, so he is actually already tacked up, and he is in his cross-country gear, and so am I actually. I'm also in my cross-country gear, and that is because, well, obviously, we're going cross-country. We have a cross-country course here at my barn, so I thought we'll utilise it and we'll use it, and we'll take Sprinter out on it. So, yeah, I've got my GoPro on, so it'll sort of be like a GoPro video, sort of. There may be some different shots, but you never know what will happen. So, yeah, let's get riding. Okay then guys, I'm gonna ride him over to the cross-country course as it's just around the other side of the barn. But, so, if you don't know who Sprinter is, he is like I said, sort of like a client's horse. But he is an ex-racing horse. He's an off-the-track thoroughbred. And he, by the way, this is voiceover Ryan. Yeah, this is voiceover me. But so he is an ex-racer, he is a off-the-track thoroughbred, and he has basically just been a racer his whole life. He is, I can't remember how old he is, I think he's like 9 or something maybe, I'm not sure, like something along those lines. But yeah, I am circling him around here just as like a, sort of like a warm-up basically, but not really a warm-up. But yeah, yeah. So he is an off-the-track thoroughbred, and he had to end his racing career about a year ago now due to an injury that he had, which meant he couldn't race again. And then ever since, he hasn't really been able to obviously race. So his owners, they've tried to turn him into just like a sort of almost like just an all-rounder horse basically, who does sort of everything, and he's just needed a bit of help with that, and he's sort of been struggling with not having to zoom off. So yeah, I'm currently working with him once a week. But yeah, so you're probably wondering why I've taken him cross-country, and you're probably thinking that this is my first jumping session with him. It's not my first jumping session. We have actually been jumping 3 or 4 times over the past 3 weeks, I think it's been, maybe more. We've had our first jump together, and we have, well, yeah, he's been doing really good. So I thought, why not take him down cross country and see how he does out there? And yeah, that's what I've done. So yeah, during this ride, Sprinter felt like he was having so much fun. He definitely showed us his true self almost, because obviously he's an ex-racing horse, like I said, and ex-racer, well, racers as it is, racing horses as they are, they like to go fast. And when Sprinter was out in the open fields, just going over jumps and having an amazing time, you could tell that he was absolutely loving it. He felt almost free, sort of, like he could do anything at all. I mean, he can sort of do anything. But, you know, yeah. Yeah, and you might be able to see that we are avoiding the massive jumps. Just because, you know, first time cross country, and it's his first time cross country, never mind mine. I've done loads of cross country before. I've taken Tokyo out cross country, I've taken my friend's horse out cross country, but yeah. when this video actually goes out, it was meant to be the video where I jumped Calico for the first ever time. Obviously, that's not happening. And you're probably wondering why, and that is because Calico, she's not been having it recently. Yeah, and just so you know, in these clips, in that little clip there, he did pull out of that jump. It was slightly terrifying because he came out of it very fast. But so Calico, she has pulled a shoe, and I know that's not really limiting to anything, but because she's sort of on the younger-ish side, and she'd never jumped before, I'd prefer to have all 4 shoes on while we're jumping for the first time, you know, like, just to feel safe. First jump with her, I sort of want to feel safe. But yeah, sort of, yeah. And she's also been feeling very fresh recently. There we go, got my words out. So yeah, booking a bit. Yeah, so I've decided to hold off on the jumping till maybe a bit further into June, possibly, just to, you know, make sure she's all right with everything and everything's going all right. So this part of the videos, you will be able to see that we are heading towards the water, and this is where Sprinter was. He was amazing. We absolutely zoomed through the water, and when it came to this like almost duck jump sort of, he jumped out of it, and usually I would say that he overjumped. I'm glad he overjumped because I've seen many people fall at that jump, and it looked quite rather frightening because the horse caught their foot on it and didn't really end well. Yeah, I was slightly scared to go at that jump. I've done it with Tokyo before, and he did well on it. I mean, he's Tokyo; he does well on everything. We all love Tokyo, but you know, sprinter. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna sort of be quiet now, and I'm going to just play some music while me and Sprinter do a bit more of cross country. So yeah. Okay, guys, I'm just going to break my silence real quick and just tell you about what sort of happens in this next clip and sort of why it happened. So you're going to see a little sort of issue that me and Sprinter have at this very jump. So you're going to see that I've fallen from Sprinter, and that is because he sort of spooked at something, I think, and then tripped at the jump, and he sort of toppled, and then I went over his head and landed on the floor. I'm really glad that I had my body protector on, otherwise I can't even begin to imagine what could have happened. And I'm really glad that it didn't happen and that I was fine. I've suffered worse, and I think Sprinter knew that he'd done something wrong, and he ironically, I think he sort of felt guilty, as stupid as that sounds. But yeah, so I fell. Like I said, I'd suffered worse, and I've fell a lot of times before, and it's been worse. So honestly, I was quite fine after this jump, and I didn't really mind that it had happened, and it didn't really worry me. But obviously, I did check over Sprinter, just once after I had fallen, just to check that he was okay. And he seemed fine, so I did get back on, as you'll see in the next clip. So I did, obviously, as you can see, get back on, which I think is the most important thing as an equestrian or as a horse rider. The most important thing about it is that you get back on after you've fallen, because otherwise you just lose your confidence. And I've learnt that the hard way before, and I have lost my confidence a lot before. Surprisingly, on Tokyo, the golden horse nowadays, but back in the day when I first got him, he was definitely not the golden child. He was devilish back then. But yeah, so I just had a little trot around just to get my feel back in the saddle after being thrown. And it was quite a painful fall. But like I said, I've suffered worse, and I've suffered much more painful. I mean, I landed on my backside. I landed on my bum. So, yeah. Glad I landed there instead of on my head. But I will have to get a new helmet now because I did hit my head. If you know, you know. If you don't, Google it. But yeah, so after said fall, I did get back on, and we did go over just like, I think it was 3, 4, maybe 5 more jumps, just so Heath didn't feel like after I fall, I don't get back on and we don't have to do anything else, because that's really important that he knows that even if I do fall off, I will get back on, and unless like I break a limb or something, I will get back on, and he does still have to jump. He doesn't, so he doesn't know, so that he doesn't get a habit of throwing me off, so he doesn't have to do anything. Because horses, they will do that. Yeah. But Sprinter, we all make mistakes, and today seemed to not be Sprinter's day. But once we had our final couple jumps, I just cooled him off, had a bit of a slower canter just down the path, and then just slowly went down in gates, and we sort of just stopped and cooled off. And this is actually when someone else actually went onto the course themselves, and I just said hi and good luck. I won't actually put that audio in the video, but I did say that. So yeah, that is. I did actually forget to film an outro. Well, I did film one, but I didn't press record on my camera. I'm stupid. That is the only way to define it. I am stupid. Didn't press record on my camera when I was doing the outro and didn't exactly have time to re-record it as I had other horses to ride. So I will put my outro in this little final bit of the GoPro. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed my little falling off fiasco with Mr. Sprinter. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.